r/Nosleep. Posted by u/Veryangryacorn. It's hunting season. Every Halloween in my town is considered hunting season. The game? Human. Every year on Halloween Day, one unlucky participant's name is drawn. It's always drawn at noon in the town square and the person is taken in handcuffs and given the ceremonial clothes. They're released into the woods at 6 and are given an hour to hide. The hunt begins and never ends until the person is found and slaughtered. It's usually a group of 10 people armed with rifles and handguns. The town elders say this tradition stretches back to their elders. It protects our town and kept the crops plentiful. Personally, I think it's a way to get rid of the people the town doesn't like. We don't even have that many farmers anymore. We have an Aldi's. I showed up in the square with my mom and dad. They chatted like nothing was happening. My dad loves the hunt and mom is bird-brained enough to go along with him. He loves it so much he named me Artemis after the Greek goddess of the hunt. Mom packs snacks and joins him. She's an adept tracker. Dad's gotten the kill 23 times. We waited for the big clock to chime noon. The time of choosing. I dread this part. I can't stand to watch the person be dragged away, yelling that this isn't fair. All too soon the chiming started and the mayor took his place in the middle of town square. How ironic that his family never had to register for the raffle. Citizens. We're here for a few things. First, happy Halloween. We will have trick-or-treating in the town square tonight. Also, it's time for the hunt. Our favorite time of year. He said. There were cheers from the crowd. Dad hollered along with them. Yes, we're all excited. It's time for the ceremonial draw. He said. The mayor made a big show of showing the bucket with everyone's name in there. My name was in there, as was my mom's and dad's. I might not agree with them, but I hope to whatever benevolent God was listening that they weren't chosen. The mayor pulled out a scrap of paper and made a big show of waving it around. And the winner is Artemis Samet. Artemis, what a fitting name. Come forth. He said. My blood ran cold. There was no other Artemis Samet in the crowd. Some looked at me in pity, others in excitement. The town knows I'm against the hunt. I know I would be targeted, but I didn't think I would actually get picked. Penelope White tried to break into the room with all the names and burn them. I thought for sure her name would be called. I turned around and tried to run, but my dad caught me. Sweetie, you can't break tradition. This will be the most exciting year yet. He said. Mom tried to stop him, but he wouldn't have it. He said I was chosen, that this is my destiny. She told him I was her daughter. Dad threw me into the center next to the mayor while 2 men handcuffed me. Well, Ms. Zamet. What do you have to say? He said. When's the last time someone got away? I asked. 20 years ago. 15-year-old William. The mayor said cheerfully. I'm about to ruin your win streak, then I promise I'm coming after you. Sir. I spat. Some people booed. Some threw whatever they had. The 2 men carried me off to the holding cells and brought me the ceremonial outfit. It's completely white and will stand out in the woods. I changed into them and tried to think of a plan. I didn't have time to pity myself if I were to escape. The men were sharpshooters and would not hesitate to end me if they even caught a glimpse of me. I tried to come up with a mental map of the forest. Mom and Dad would take me out there to teach me how to excel in the hunt. We would sometimes come across the skeletons of the past prey and Dad would retell the tale of finding the person hidden in the trees or crouched behind a bush. It wasn't long before my mother approached my cell. Mom? How did you get back here? I asked. I tried to stop this. I tried to talk some sense into your father, but he's not having it. He's saying how proud he is that his daughter is a chosen one. She said. It's okay. Can you go along with it? Can you lead him off my trail? I asked. I'll do the best I can. I'll leave the shed unlocked and some weapons in there. If you can make it, please take them. Have some food, you'll need your strength. She said. I told her I loved her and whatever happens, I want her to be happy. We hugged through the bars and she scurried off, ready to throw my dad and his buddies off my trail. I waited and tried to conserve my energy. All too soon it was 6 and I was being released into the woods. You have an hour until the men begin hunting you. Best of luck. The man told me. I stumbled around, looking for anything I might recognize. I'm not sure how long it was until I saw a familiar berry bush. Dad taught me that when the hunt went on they would often snack on these berries for quick energy. Too many and you would have a sore stomach. I remember Dad saying if you'd go west at the berry bush, you would find your way home. The sun sets in the west, so I followed it. I was almost home when I heard the screams of the hunters running into the woods. I knew some had dogs, but I had used any available animal droppings I could find to hide my scent. I made it home and made it to the shed. Mom had left clothes, a small pack filled with food and water, a watch, small pocket knife, and a compass. The clothes were camouflage and would offer me a little bit of cover. I wasted no time changing and putting on the watch. Hidden behind one of the squeaky panels was a small handgun with 2 magazines of bullets. I grabbed the gun and put it in my waistline and ran back towards the woods. I could hear the sound of a large group coming closer, but thankfully, it's a dense area of the woods and unless I'm super unlucky they couldn't see me. I tried to keep the pace, sometimes walking at an angle to try and escape the group that was on me. This was survival and I considered picking one of the members off so I could take his gear. I decided that at this moment, that would be unnecessary. I was so focused that I didn't hear the whistling, or maybe I thought it was birds. I heard the gunshot go off and saw the bullet in the tree next to me. I ran. Adrenaline carried me through the woods, bullets hitting the ground or the trees around me. If I had to guess, Gary Newman's crew found me. They were all adept trackers but awful shots. I saw no other options. I took a position behind the biggest tree I could find. They yelled for me to give up and they would make it quick. I tried to take the hunt away from them. I'm evil. The hunt is necessary, it keeps the town in good favors. I didn't take the bait. I stayed behind the tree. When I heard the leaves crunch with the movement of one of the men, I took a chance. I peeked and fired 2 shots. The man fell to the ground. Before I could process what I had done, the man was in the ground. His 2 buddies were furious. They made the mistake of charging me. Dad taught me to always stand my ground and fight, so I did. I fired off 3 more shots before they also hit the ground. I grabbed their rifles and one of the man's shotgun. After all, this is hunting season and sometimes the prey needs to be the hunter. 3 down, 7 to go. Dad would be in the large group of 5. There's the Frigo couple that was participating, but they always have the same tactic. The Frigo couple always heads north and waits by the waterfall. The prey needs water is the first lesson Dad always taught me. I made my way to the waterfall, trying to cover my tracks with leaves and my scent with as much flowery scents I could find. As I got closer to the waterfall, I got lower and quieter. I knew the position Ms. Frigo takes. If you look at the waterfall, she sits in a tree 40 degrees north. Sure enough, she was there. I hid behind a tree and pulled the rifle out. I had her in my sights and wasted no time pulling the trigger. The shot was louder than I expected. I saw Mr. Frigo break his position and start hopping along the rocks to get to her. Sure would be a shame if he missed a rock and drowned, I thought. I sent a bullet aimed towards his leg and he went down. He fell into the fast waters and couldn't keep up. The current swept him over the edge. I've taught you well. But this ends now, Artemis. Give yourself over to tradition. I heard my dad yell. He was on the other side of the waterfall with my mom and his other group. I peeked around the tree I was hiding behind and was hit in the lower leg. Stop this, Dad! I yelled. Come on. Give your old man a win, baby! He yelled. I pointed the handgun I took off of one of Gary Newman's men and fired a few rounds. It distracted them enough to give me time to hobble away. I saw vines moving on a rock and knew that would make excellent cover. I ran towards them and ran right into a small cave occupied by a man. You're not part of the hunt, I said. Hush. They're passing by, he said. Sure enough, Dad's crew passed right by me. Thank you. Are you William? The 15-year-old they never found? I asked. Yeah. My mom told me about this hiding spot and how they would never look here. I go to the edge of town and she brings me supplies. What's your name? He asked. Artemis. My dad's one of the hunters, I said. Judging from your gear, you had some help, he said. My mom. She couldn't stand watching them take her baby, I told him. He gave me his condolences and told me I was welcome to stay with him. He tried to help the past victims, but the hunting parties were too good. He always lost. Did they have the equipment I have? I asked him. No. I think we may have a shot here, he said. I gave him the rifle. Should I trust him? Maybe not. Is he the best option I have right now? Absolutely. He patched up my leg as best as he could and told me it would heal. Might leave a scar, but the bullet just grazed me. I gave it a few minutes before I went and retrieved Miss Frago's weapon. It was a very nice rifle with a scope. It didn't take too long for me and William to hatch a plan. We would make a trail and lead them to the clearing. We would use the rifle and take 2 down, then pull out the handgun and take down 2 more. I would give my dad a chance to change his mind before I took any drastic measures. After all, he is my dad. The plan worked perfectly, and before too long, we were left with just my mom and dad. Give it up, Dad. Could you kill your own daughter? I asked. You've killed enough people. I'm proud of you. You learned well. It's the end though, baby girl, he said. I don't want to hurt you, I said. Let her go. Please, John. Mom screamed. So it was you who left her the goodies. I should have known, you good for nothing wench. You threw us off the trail this whole time. Now you can watch as your daughter dies, he said. He started running across the clearing. Bang! I risked looking and saw my dad on the ground. A shot straight into his skull. Mom was holding the gun. You okay? She asked. Are you okay? You shot your husband, I asked. He stopped being my husband when he willingly let you be taken. What will you do now, Artemis? Where will you go? You can't go back, she said. My friend in the tree over there? That's William. He got away from the hunt. I don't think he'll mind if I crash until I can figure something out. Maybe check out a new town. I told her. I understand. I love you and always will. I have to go back and tell everyone what happened. You know these people will be hailed as heroes? She asked. I know. Hey Mom? Can you give the mayor a message for me? I asked. Sure sweetie, she said. Tell him I'm making good on my promise. He's next.